When you awake on a beautiful summer morning and the weather forecast calls for a bright sunshine day all day long, there's only one thing to do: ride. When I went outside and drew my first breath of fresh air, I knew that in just a few short moments, I would be on my way to mount that 1988 silver gold wing that was housed in my father's basement. He graciously let me use it from time to time, and I took full advantage of the opportunity. You see, touring the bluegrass state of Kentucky is, for me, one of the great pleasures I enjoy this side of the kingdom of heaven. And for me, riding was and is an experience to be taken in by all of the senses. It's hearing the sweet sound of a GL 1500 as it accelerates from 0 to 60 on a less traveled 2-lane road paralleling the Kentucky River. It's seeing the rolling green hills of eastern Kentucky against a backdrop of cloudless blue skies, and the freshly rolled hay bales decorating the newly cut fields of grass. And it's smelling those fields in the country air that finds its way to my olfactory sense as I inhale through my smug-fitting full-face helmet and take it all in. And it's feeling a 6-cylinder 1,520cc engine mounted on a solid frame that supports the nearly 800-pound beast, which stretches 66.5 inches from wheel to wheel. And the feel of delicately controlling such a machine as I lean into a steep curve and roll on its throttle, unleashing the power of a 100-horsepower engine, precisely managing the maneuver until the highway board is just a breath away from meeting the asphalt. Then there's that moment in every long ride when the bike gently exits the road and retreats to some parking lot of a restaurant or small cafe, or maybe it's the driveway of a close friend or relative. And in a moment of pause, hunger and thirst are satisfied, perhaps by a thick, juicy burger fresh off the grill, teeming with fresh green lettuce, red, ripe tomatoes, thick dill pickles, and American cheese, in between two buns generously spread with mayo, ketchup, and mustard. And to wash it down is a tall glass of ice-cold root beer, filled to the top, the foam overflowing the boundaries of the mug, sliding down the side of the glass, finally coming to rest on the table just a little in front of my plate. And within a few short gulps, my thirst is satisfied, and I'm left staring at just a few cubes of ice at the bottom of the glass. To wrap up this interlude, I conclude with a warm piece of freshly baked apple pie, gently sprinkled with a touch of cinnamon, accompanied by a hot cup of black coffee. No cream, no sugar. Alas, it is time for the journey home, and I choose the less traveled road. It has been a symphony of senses for me. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And as precious as that first breath of fresh air is that moment when the basement door opens, the gold wing is guided inside, the kickstand down, and the ignition switch off. With head humbly bowed, and taking not for granted the traveling mercies of God, I offer a brief prayer of thanksgiving for the day and for coming home safely before unsaddling that blessed machine. Lest this day become a distant memory, swallowed in the sea of busyness, I retreat to my desk with pen, journal, and pipe. And not just any pipe, but my Savinelli Octavia. Inside the bowl is a wonderful blend of a light aromatic that symbolizes the denouement of a climactic day and tastefully complements the last cup of coffee, providing a relaxing room note that facilitates this unhurried moment of reflection when the fresh memory of the day is penned to paper. I lift the pipe to my mouth and touch the flame of the lighter to the dark golden brown aromatic blend, and the smoke gently billows and rises above my head, slowly disappearing into the air, leaving the delightful aroma I so patiently anticipated. The Savinelli is cool and smooth, allowing me to take a brief pause between puffs and enjoy the company of my cup of coffee. With the journal entry done, I lay aside the pipe, take one last sip of coffee, and rise slowly and take in the remaining fragrance of a light aroma fading through the air. Now, with somewhat heavy eyes and desiring rest, a few lines of a simple, comforting prayer penned by Sabine Baring Gould in 1867 draws the day in this moment to a close. Now the day is over, night is drawing nigh, shadows of the evening steal across the sky. Now the darkness gathers, stars begin to peep, birds and beasts and flowers soon will be asleep. Jesus, give the weary calm and sweet repose. With thy tenderest blessing, may mine eyelids close. And that's how it was once